it felt racist in a sense.
No,
And
I mean it is. That
but
is what it is. They're like, oh, you're Iranian, so automatically, if you put that as a tag, that means your existence is like political.
right.
That's ridiculous. FaZe Kaysan has been demonetized on Twitch due to the fact that he had Iran in his stream tags. He's also originally from Iran and says, I was receiving $0 of ad money for the entire month. I've never talked about politics on Twitch before. With this logic, Hasan should be banned indefinitely. How do you not understand that this is like dumb as f? This is a great example of like random people getting caught in the crossfire. Yo,
Oh,
what's
wait.
up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, 1 second. Let me turn my cam on.
Kaysan, how old are you?
I'm about to be 30,
Okay.
29.
All right. Thank God. All right. You're from Boomer too. All right. Good.
Wait, how old are you?
I'm 33.
Oh yeah, no, you're way older than me.
Bro, you're 30. It's over. It's
I'm just saying,
over.
I'm not 30 yet. I'm not 30 yet. Hold on.
It's over. It's over.
Boom. I think I
What
did
is
this
this
right.
Nick Merckx camera angle, dude? Oh, there you are. Okay.
Okay, boom. How you doing, bro? You good?
I'm doing all right. I mean, I'm doing as best as I can be doing, all things considered, you know.
Yeah.
It is what it is. So I heard you got demonetized because you had the Iran tag on your channel.
I wanted to talk to you, bro, because obviously I know you've been streaming up for a long time, and you've obviously you're very opinionated when it comes to politics, of course.
Mhm.
So as I don't know if you know much about me, but I'm Iranian, but I was born and raised in LA in the US. But my parents are from Iran, born and raised, and I visited there before. And literally I have had an Iran tag under my Twitch for a very long time. It's since I started streaming a few years ago. It says Iran and Persian because I'm Iranian. So to attract Iranian viewers, I would obviously,
Yeah.
put it's normal.
Yeah,
But
no, I understand. Yeah.
yeah. So I realized that I'm running ads and I'm fully demonetized. So I reached out to my Twitch rep, and I'm not gonna say her name, but I reached out to my Twitch rep. I just said, "Hey, this has to be a glitch in the system or whatever." She obviously responded to me and told me I was not making ad money because advertisers were choosing not to uh give me ads because I have Iran as a tag and avoiding quote unquote political, whatever the case may be. Which, in my opinion, in the moment I read that, I was like, this cannot be real. This is insane because it felt racist in a sense.
No,
And
I mean it is. That
but
is what it is. They're like, "Oh, you're Iranian, so automatically if you put that as a tag, that means your existence is like political."
right.
That's ridiculous.
And bro, I don't know if you know much about me, bro. Regardless of anyone's political stance, regardless of whatever their ethnicity is, whether you're even Republican, Democrat, Israeli, from Palestine, from Iran, whatever the case may be, bro, I have always preached world peace. Always, no matter what. That is the one thing if you know me and in my chat or whatever, I've always preached world peace. I stay far away from everything. Everything. Like I really do. I genuinely just stream, I vibe, I chill, whatever. I used to be a little more outspoken a few years ago and I've really calmed down. And all I simply had was Iran as a tag and I somehow get demonetized. So I wanted to ask you, as someone who is extremely opinionated and obviously you've made an incredible career in what you do, I am curious to know if you have ever been demonetized for anything you've ever spoken or till this day, do you
Yeah, definitely. I mean, in the past and even like even now, like not only have I been demonetized, I had the reason why that happened to you is partially a response to this like never ending smear campaign that's been going on, I think, led by this dude who used to be on the platform, who's like permanently angry that he's never unbanned from the platform. So he just kind of made it like his life's mission to get the platform taken down now, basically. They've been like applying pressure, like they've been doing this like vicious smear campaign nonstop with the hopes of triggering. Do you remember the adpocalypse?
No, what was that?
Like during the PewDiePie era on YouTube, like all the advertisers pulled out because the media was like, what the fuck, this guy's like saying this guy is the PewDiePie, the largest YouTuber, is like, saying a whole bunch of stuff online And then there was like, I think, like all these creepy videos that were targeted towards kids. And then people started writing articles about it. And you know, advertisers started getting worried and they pulled out, right? They pulled out, and so many content creators like lost a shit ton of revenue. It was known as like the adpocalypse, basically.
Okay.
There was, and at the time, people were very mad. I think Logan Paul with the Suicide Forest contributed to it too, if I'm not mistaken. It was a long ass time ago. I don't fully remember all the details, but basically, at the time, like everyone was really mad at mainstream media for, you know, covering YouTube as a competitor in this like really negative fashion, right? And it caused a lot of content creators, random content creators like yourself, catching strays for no reason and like losing out on revenue.
Right.
And now these guys are basically doing the same shit.
Without warning, by the way, without no message, warning, nothing.
Yeah, I think Twitch is just responding to like pressure that's coming from outside groups, being like, oh, these guys are anti-Semitic. Twitch has an anti-Semitism problem, and you know, Twitch has a problem with like political content. It is extremist, and they haven't gotten a lot of motion overall. But I think platforms are very careful whenever stuff like that happens, and they get very worried whenever stuff like that happens, and they turn around and take action immediately. They're like, oh shit, we got to nip this in the bud. And in that process, they get a little bit ahead of themselves, and they end up doing insane stuff like what just happened to you with the Iran tag, where they're like, oh, if you have a tag, they overcompensate out of fear. If you have a tag for any of like America's sanctioned enemies, I guess, like
Right.
Iran or Venezuela or Cuba, then you're not going to get monetized. And
Yeah,
one thing that they took, was like they created a new content classification system. Like right now, when I'm talking to you, I have a content label: politics and sensitive social issues. Discussions or debates about politics or sensitive social issues such as elections, civic integrity, military conflict, and civil rights in a polarizing manner. Now, I put that content classification label on voluntarily, and that's a new thing. And they did that in response to like all of this pressure, right? They did that in response to all this pressure. And you know, I'm abiding by that standard. But I think that it automatically, and now there's a link that, or there's a warning that says like this is intended for certain audiences. And I think in the process they also took me off the front page as well. Like even on election night, when I had 300,
I'm sorry, 300.
I had 314,000 live concurrent viewers on election night. I wasn't on the front page. Asmongold was, Jinxie was, and every other content creator that was covering the election was, but I wasn't. So unless you went directly to my website, twitch.tv/Hasanabi, or I guess if I was on your following list already, then I would show up. But there was no other way for a not logged account unless they typed in twitch.tv/Hasanabi to actually, I would not appear in front of them.
Because you're politically opinionated.
That was, I think, deliberate beyond being politically opinionated. I think they straight up shadow banned me because they were worried about all of this extra pressure that was surmounting on the platform.
Okay.
And the pressure is coming from Destiny and his community. Now, it didn't matter in that process. Like, who knows how many people would be watching if I also was in the algorithm as normal. But it didn't matter at the end of the day. I still had 314,000 live concurrent viewers. But the problem is, yeah, people are in my chat are saying not even for subs. I had to manually search for you. Like people were manually searching to find me, and they still did. But it was basically to try and withstand all of the outside pressure that's coming in, to make it seem like, we're moving in the direction where we're cleaning up the website, that sort of thing, because they are obviously afraid of like advertisers pulling out. Now, I think it's really stupid to respond to this kind of like cynical smear campaign, but I understand why corporations do it because they want to protect their bottom line at the end of the day without rocking the boat too much. But I think you and others exactly like you get, they lose monetization.
Catch a stray in a sense.
Yeah, people like yourself lose monetization in the process because the platform is overcorrecting.
Yeah. I mean, I can read you her message. I reached out, sent a screenshot. I said, this can't be right. My activities showed everything was running.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, what's going on? Had to message her a good amount of times. Say, hey, I know if she was streaming with specific tags that advertisers may find political, which could be impacting your ad revenue. We are noticing advertisers avoiding political tags right now. Are you streaming political content or using tags like Iran or Venezuela, for example?
That's crazy. So yeah, the
Removing these
Venezuela
type of
thing is real
tags,
too.
Yeah, removing these type of tags and or not producing political content will likely fix this issue for you and increase ad monetization. And I responded saying I was in disbelief. I was just like, I don't think that's correct. That makes no sense because in my head I'm like, that's racist. So whatever. We talk a few times. Yeah, we talk a few times. She comes back. She says, here's an update. We're 100% sure that this is related to the Iran tag, and I performed all the tests needed to figure it out. However, we highly recommend run a test stream before your event. If you can't do that, could you please send me a list of tags, blah, blah, blah. So essentially doubled down to let me know that that is the case. And obviously, as an Iranian, it's very disappointing because I simply had to tag I'm Iranian and to attract more viewers of my ethnicity. So I'm not gonna lie, it's crazy, and it is very disappointing for the fact that I had to take it off to make money, which in a sense it's kind of feels like I'm selling out right now. I don't know what to do, and it's also like here's the thing that sucks about with Twitch is in no questions asked is like the mainstream platform. So it's like you speak up, you don't want to get banned, you don't want to get shadow banned, right? So it's like you're in this lose-lose situation of like, well, you guys aren't letting me attract Iranian viewers or represent Iran. At the same time, now that I'm speaking about it, I'm putting myself in essentially a horrible position of Twitch can silence me whenever they want. Which I don't know if they will, because Twitch is claiming it's the advertisers, of course. So I'm just in this very weird position. And again, as a man who never speaks about politics, ever. So I don't know what you think. I mean, you obviously told me you were speaking on it, but it's kind of shitty.
No, I 100% agree with you. I think you should be able to fucking put the Iranian tag on there proudly and not suffer any sort of penalties for it whatsoever. I think it's straightforwardly racist. Same with Venezuela as well, or even Cuba if that's one of the official. Because like these are all, on the America's enemies list. It's like so insane. America's a diverse nation with a shit ton of Iranian, Venezuelan, Cuban people. Like that's what's supposed to make America fucking awesome. That you can be from a different country and say whatever the fuck you want, even things that you wouldn't be able to say back home, right? Like I'm Turkish. I would not be able to say 90% of the things that I say right now in the United States of America in Turkey without facing severe repercussions. And it's not only completely unacceptable, but it's straightforwardly un-American,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think it's crazy. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they'll fix it, and I'm sorry that it's like impacted your revenue for the month. And like I said, I apologize. It's just it's a direct consequence, like I said, of outside groups that are like falsely attacking the platform nonstop. And I think that a lot of content creators that engage in this and play fast and loose with this shit in order to be punitive towards the platform because they're angry. Because like I was just talking about this with and then they brought up your case because Asmongold is like, oh, I'm gonna go and talk to one of the guys that's been leading this initiative. His name is Dan Saltman. He streams on Twitch too. He's like a streamer on Twitch. He's Destiny's podcast co-host. Like they've been attacking the platform viciously, trying to get like coverage and trying to get motion on the story that like Twitch is an anti-Semitic platform. They have like, they're breeding, it's a hotbed for extremism, and they're breeding like extremist radical politics or whatever. And they're taking like clips out of context and they're trying to blast it in the media, and it's not really working, and it hasn't really worked at all in their favor. But in the process, people are like losing revenue, right? And at least I can't tell what a person's motivations are beyond what I've seen them openly say. And I mean, they work with the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, to try to get like a bunch of content creators banned for doing a tier list, which they did successfully ban them. They've been banned for a month. And yeah, now a lot of content creators, big and small, are suffering from the impact of like one community's cynical attempts to not only try to get me deplatformed. They like went to a fucking congressperson and he wrote a letter to Twitch. Like, it's to that degree. It's pretty insane. So, you know, it is Islamophobia as well, which is like totally seen as permissible. I don't know if you're Muslim or not, but it doesn't really matter. You're okay. So yeah, you're Iranian. And even if you weren't Muslim, it still wouldn't matter. But like, you know, everyone automatically is like, oh, you're Muslim, you must be anti-Semitic automatically. Like, it is what it is. But that is like the reception for the most part. Like, I doubt, and this shouldn't exist either. I'm not saying that this is appropriate, but I doubt that there is like demonetization if you have a tag Israel on your profile.
Curious to know if someone did have that, if they would.
Yeah, and they shouldn't. Like, I have Israeli chatters in here. Like, if they're content creators, if they're Israeli content creators, like, why the fuck they get demonetized? Like, that's ridiculous.
Listen, I've said this many times, guys. There are great people in all these countries, as there are bad people. But I'm not gonna judge someone based on who the country I'm from is at war at because of that reason. I'm gonna judge you based on the person you are, not the.
No, I 100% agree. Yes,
I've always preached that, and I feel like this is just it's really fucked up, and it's not about the money as much as it's the premise of what is happening, and why I was essentially demonetized. Right? You know, the money is unfortunate, is what it is, but.
It's totally unacceptable.
It's the principle.
And I hope Twitch fixes it ASAP. No, for sure.
Yeah.
Like,
but listen, yeah. I appreciate you taking my call. I know we've never really spoke before. But I appreciate you talking to me. I wanted to obviously ask you about it.
No problem.
It's your world,
when am I gonna beat your ass in the courts is the real question.
I mean, if we're doing 3 dribbles basketball, I'll play you, but you're like 6'5". And I weigh like 140 pounds. You might have at least
3 dribble basketball. You know, I got a clean jumper.
Okay, I've seen you play. Whenever you're in LA, right?
I am. I'm just saying, okay. 3 dribble. I'll still cook you.
All right, we can set it up, man. We're locked in now. So let me know, man. Whenever you want.
100%. Now that I got you dialed in, I got your Discord. You can't run away like Mark Phillips. Okay, let me just say right now, RDC's very own, constantly ducking me. Okay, I even went and did his creator basketball league and everything, but it's all good.
You're beating Marcus ass.
Yeah, well, yeah, we'll see. I've heard that you're good, so
we'll see. We'll see what happens on the court. But I'm down whenever.
Just and Rage too. Rage ducks me too.
Rage has no knees, so Rage is not playing anyone.
I know.
He's got to.
There's plenty who are ducking me, but I'm glad that you're brave enough.
Yeah, but you're cool. I'm sorry. I feel like I misjudged you in the past, but that I'm gonna openly apologize for. So
no, I mean, it's all good. Listen, I don't fault people for misjudging me. I speak for 8 hours a day on a lot of hot button issues, and you know, I have a lot of people who sit in my chat and specifically wait for me to say something that they can clip out of context and be like, "Look at this guy. He's a real piece of shit."
What it was. I think you were getting clipped out of context a lot, and I would see that out of context. I'd be like, "What?"
No, that's what I mean. No, 100%. That it is what it is. I don't even fault people at this point for it, because it's like, I would hate who people present me as. If I didn't know, you know, most people have 9 to 5s. They're just clicking on Twitch or clicking on Twitter, and they see like a 17-second clip, and they're like, "Well, I made up my mind about this guy," and I don't fault people for that at all. I get it. So it's all good. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I think there was one clip I seen a long time ago about one of my friends who I think maybe you jumped the gun on. His name's Zuma. I don't know if you heard of him. He's a
No,
great human being.
I don't
Listen,
know who that
I
is.
think it was a long time ago over some no pixel shit. I don't know what it was, but he's a great guy. You probably don't even exactly. You don't even
No,
remember.
I haven't. Yeah, I have no idea. Damn,
It was
brother, I haven't
years,
played. I haven't
years
played no
ago.
pixel roleplay in almost a decade at this
Years,
point.
years ago. But listen, man, I
Damn,
appreciate you
RP
taking this
drama
call.
runs deep.
Yeah, I think this was years and years ago. But listen,
Yeah.
it was great talking to you, bro. I appreciate you taking the call. And
All
whenever you
right.
want to do this baseball shit, I'm around. I'm in
I'll
LA.
hit you up. All
All
right.
right, bro.
Peace,
All right, so
brother.
take it easy, bro. Take it easy, bro.
Notice how much more normal it is when you have a normal conversation with people instead of jumping down their throat. Chatters. I think this perfectly illustrates why you being normal in the streaming space is important, like we talked about earlier today. Chatters who will cry about FaZe collabs, but it's necessary to build these relationships, have this conversation. Exactly. Most people are not like the way you think they are because you saw a clip of them and it rubbed you the wrong way. And I think a lot of people basically do that. A lot of people do that to me. You know what's really funny? That's one thing I've always talked about. And it kind of goes unnoticed, but like FaZe has always been so insanely diverse. Like they always have been. I mean, guys, I've talked about this early on, but like one of the OG FaZe guys, okay? One of the OG FaZe guys is a man by the name of FaZe Apex, okay? He's OG, straight up, one of the old guard of FaZe. And FaZe Apex was the person connecting me to Norm Finkelstein, okay? Which sounds like a meme, but it's not a meme. It's true. Yeah. FaZe Apex, he's Palestinian, and he was the guy who was linking me with FaZe Finkelstein.